Tevye was a man who tried to live by very rigid traditions, the Jewish Orthodox traditions of that time and place, and he found, as these stories tell, the traditions were breaking down. His children were subject to all kinds of influences that were sweeping over Russia, and they broke away from the traditions, and he was constantly put in the position, do I go with tradition, or do I honor what my children want? And he loved his children, and usually he wound up going their way. So when we first read the stories, we thought, as I say, that this was a story about a family. When we began to realize it was a story about a whole community and a whole way of life, things began to change in our writing. For instance, our original opening number for the show that Jerry and I and Joe Stein talked about was built around a very important Jewish custom, the celebration of the Sabbath. The Sabbath was the high point of the Jewish week, and in many Orthodox homes in this country it still is. But those people lived from week to week. So we had a number about the Sabbath for the mother and the 5 daughters who were trying to get the house cleaned up and get everything done before the sun went down, because at sunset the Sabbath began. We'll just do a little bit of how this song sounded. The daughters are watching the mother kind of work herself into a nervous breakdown, and one of the daughters sings, Mama, Mama, you mustn't get so nervous.
Mama, Mama, for heaven's sakes, relax.
Relax. So who can relax while there's so much to be done? Keeping one eye on the soup and the other on the sun.
Mama, Mama, don't be nervous.
Mama will be ready long before the sun has set. We've never missed a Sabbath yet. Somehow
the house will be clean.
Floors will be swept.
Soup will be cooked.
Fish will be spiced.
Somehow
There's noodles to make and chicken to be plucked and liver to be chopped and challah to be baked. Race with the sun so at the proper time the candles can be lit and blessed. There's noodles to make and chicken to be plucked and liver to be chopped and challah to be baked. Race with the sun so at the proper time the candles can be lit and blessed, etc. Then, when we decided that this opening could be expanded, or rather that we wanted to get away from just the family, and we wanted our opening number to be about the whole community, and also to set up something. Oh, this brings up another point. In doing research for the show, we discovered many things about the people in this community that fascinated us and that we didn't know, from various books, like a marvelous book, which is called Life is with People, which I recommend to everybody. It's a marvelous book. And we decided that since we couldn't tell the audience, it'll help if you read to Life is with People, what we would do is do an opening number that tried to compress a lot of traditional things into the opening. And as Jerome Robbins said, the show would play against this opening number as though we had a tapestry. From the minute you heard the opening, you would know what this show is about, tradition.
What Sheldon did was condense 1,000 pages of To Life is with People into a 7-minute song. And it, in effect, is the opening of our show now, and I think helped us get on the road to other people outside of the Jewish people being able to appreciate what our story was about.
And in creating it, when Jerry wrote the music to this We've Never Missed a Sabbath Yet, there was one theme we adored, which was the noodles to make and chicken to be plucked, and the counterpoint to it, the noodles will be made. And we wanted to use that some way. And so we used it in the opening we have now, where at towards the beginning of the opening, we set up the traditions of the family, what the fathers do and what they are, the mothers, the daughters, and the sons. And 2 of the themes, which now you'll recognize, are these. This is the papas speaking. Who day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, say his daily prayers, and still up. That's the old lyric. Everything evolves. Who day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, say his daily prayers, and who has the right as master of the house to have the final word at home? And the daughter's theme was,
and who does Mama teach to mend and tend and fix, preparing me to marry whoever Papa picks? Tradition
tradition, 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 tradition. That was the use of two themes from the original song we wrote, and being essentially very economical with what we write, never liking to throw anything away, we used other things. The way the show now starts, there's the opening, tradition. Then it goes to the house of Tevye and his wife and his 5 daughters. And when the house opens, the mother and the children are getting ready for Sabbath. We didn't use the Sabbath song, but we used a theme of it as underscoring. So now when you see the show, you'll know what that is. As you see the house open, you hear the orchestra playing that.